Okay, thank you, Umer. Thank you for your introduction. So, can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure. I'm sharing my screen.
We will start with basic technical questions.
Let me know once the screen is visible.
Yeah, perfect. So you can open any node, any compiler, online compiler, or you can just use Notepad
Yeah,
also.
sure. I have opened the online compiler as well.
Okay, perfect. So can you write a code for second most repeating character in a string?
Let me rephrase the question if I get it. Uh,
Okay.
you asked me to write a code for second most repeating character, right?
Yeah, correct. Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Let me begin with in a string, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
You
Let me
can go.
begin with taking an example of the string. Uh, so I'm taking one string.
Yes, you can take any random string.
Yeah, I'm taking a random string. So here like what's here like you can see that there are more than four A's here, and B's are two, right? So I
Yeah.
think
Yes.
let me start with the chars. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna write down the frequency of I'm gonna store the frequency of each character in hash map. Uh,
Yeah.
Let me
Okay.
begin with writing character uh, here, char frequency new hash map. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna store each character and along with its frequency. So
Yes. First, you will finish the code. Then you
hmm,
can explain the
yeah,
rest code.
I will write down code. Okay, thanks. Str dot char array. What is state or default string sorted method entry comparing by value. Map get so comparing by value. Then what I'm going to do is collect collectors to map dot entry map dot entry get value a from the map. Let me import the important the imports. Uh, util check another entry. Compare by value. Okay, so what we have got here is result map. Mm, what I'm going to do is entry set again, then string um, um, so mm, map e get let's skip one five first. Just give me a second. Let me run this once again. Get key. Okay, so we are almost done.
Okay, Umar, this is Nishu. Can you just explain your code?
Yeah, like can you just repeat? Like you were asking for the second most repeated character, right?
Yeah, yeah. Correct.
Yeah, just give me a second. I will be done in 1 second. Comparator
Okay, okay.
reverse order. Okay, so okay, we got it. Okay, fine. Finally, we got it. So see, like what I did here is like I took one string and then I stored those characters of that string and the frequency of them in a hash map through character and integer format. And after that, what I did is I sorted that hash map with regards to its value. Like so, in a reverse order, like most the most amount of character will be the first one, so like the first one in the
Mm-hmm.
order, and each will decrement by like its value as we go on ahead. So what I'm doing after that, once I got the sorted map, so we can call this sorted map. So what I'm doing on the sorted map is I'm again calling a stream function where I'm mapping it to, like I'm only extracting its keys, because we are only
Yeah.
expecting a character. We don't need its value. So what I'm doing is I'm skipping the first character because it's the most repeated one, first one, right? And the second one will be the second most repeated. So this is what I'm doing. I'm skipping the first one in the row, like in the list, and then finding the right after the first, which is the second most character. So B is the second most repeated character, which is repeating twice.
Okay, 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 perfect, okay, perfect. So, okay, so, we'll jump to the next question.
Hmm.
What is exception and what are checked and unchecked exception?
Yeah, so in Java, exception is an event which disrupt the normal flow of the code. So whenever there is a exception, there is a error either due to the code or some other external factors. That time the code flows stops abruptly, and then we have to handle it through the exception handling, which is provided by the Java. So basically these phenomenon is divided into two main category, which is checked and unchecked exception. So checked exceptions are the exception which are which are due to where which is compile time, we come to know about it when we even before we are running the code. So what will happen is when there is a possibility of checked exception, the compiler will force us to provide a try catch block, or either declare the exception through throws keyword right next to the method name itself. So the reason we have categorized them in checked and unchecked is because the checked exception is very necessary to handle, because it's most of the time it depends on the external factor like database connection or file handling, etc. Whereas unchecked exception are the exception which is mostly due to the code error. The example of them are like null pointer exception, error index out of range exception, like that, like this. So yeah, these are the two main types of exception in Java.
Okay, okay. So, okay. What are SQL joins and its types?
Yeah, so SQL joins are like a methodology where we are connecting to two, either two or same table, in joining two table, interlinking two tables to find out the relationship between the rows. So there are different types of four main types of join, inner join, which is where like we are what we are doing is where we are finding out the common data between the two table. And then there is a right outer join, which is basically mean the table which is on the right side of the equation will have all the record from it, and whereas the left one will have only the matching record. And in case of left outer join, it's vice versa, like we will be having the all the record from the left table and the matching record from the right one. And in case of full outer join, we will be having all the matching record as well as non-matching records from both tables. So there are other join as well, like self join, where we are joining our one single table on itself to find out the relation between two different columns. In this And then there is a cross join as well, where we are mapping one row of the table to the remaining all the rows of other tables likewise. So yeah, these are the types of joins.
Okay, okay. So, okay. What is the return type of get window handle?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question? I'm
Okay.
stopping the share
What
of
is
the
the
screen.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
So my question is, what is the return type of get window handle?
yeah. So the gate window handle is a method in the Selenium where we are. So this basically returns. So there are two types of methods. One is get window handle, which is singular, and then there is a get window handles, which is plural. So Get window handle will be returning the string format, which actually is a unique storage session, like a unique storage ID of that particular window. Whereas the get window handles, which is plural method, that will be returning the set of strings. So whichever the browsers are, like windows are opened, it will be returning all those session IDs in a set of string.
In Selenium, how would you open a new tab?
So in Selenium, Selenium in early version of the Selenium, we used to have like we used to call the JavaScript functionality where we used to call execute the new window command of the JavaScript. But in latest version of Selenium, we got new window method which we can directly call using driver dots after calling driver dot switch to method, so we can directly switch to new window.
What are the different exceptions that you came across in Selenium and Java?
So as I mentioned, there are various exception. Like exception is a event which disrupts the normal flow of the code. So there are various exceptions in Selenium as well as specific to Selenium and Java. So for example, in Java we have various exceptions like null pointer exception, where we are expecting a value from in the variable, but we are not getting the value in the variable, and we are using that void null variable in our method somewhere else, so we will be thrown out of the method, and that will be giving us the null pointer exception. Then we have index out of bound, where we are trying to access the element in the either in the list or array, where though that number of atoms are not even there in the array. And then we have other exception as well, like there are errors as well in the like and then we have Selenium specific exception like null pointer. Oh, sorry, not null pointer. No such element found exception. This actually happens when we are trying to access the element which is not in the DOM itself, and or this happens in case we are using the wrong locators. And then there is a still element exception, where we this happens when we are trying to access the element, but the DOM has been refreshed because of some other activity in some activity due to our code. And then so basically these are two, and then we have element click intercepted exception. This actually happens when we are trying to click certain element, but some other element is hovering over it, or some other feature of the UI is interrupting our click. So element click intercepted exception, the we usually face this exception. Then we have timeout exception as well. This usually happens when we are using a external explicit wait. This will show like timeout exception will be coming if we exceed the particular conditions time limits. So yeah, these all are the types of exception.
So, which framework you are using for automation, and where you use the OOP concept in your application?
Yeah, so currently we are using Selenium, rest assured. Basically we are automating UI as well as API. So for UI we are using Selenium, and for API we are using rest assured. So both are we have. So these are the base tools, like two libraries we are using for each particular individual activity. Then for dependency management we are using the Maven, and then for code management we are using the Git, and then we are handling the data through we are for PL we are using PLSQL for database queries and handling the database and data. And then we are using hybrid like Cucumber wrapper over our actual Java code, through the runner we are driving our execution. And then these all the framework has been configured in the Jenkins through CI/CD pipeline. There we are running it. And can you repeat the last part of the question?
Uh, yeah, it's oops.
Okay, okay, I
Where
got it. So, Oops has like mainly four pillars, which is inheritance. First one is inheritance. So, inheritance. The way we are using inheritance in our project framework is the one of the main example is utility class and database classes itself. Since we use database connection is needed, and then some clicking certain element, we have configured this in the utility class, which we are uh, uh, like we are using that as a parent class to our test case class, and there we are directly using those methods through the utility class. Thus we are inheriting all the properties of the parent class. So in this way we are using the inheritance property of the oops concept. And then the second one is abstraction. So abstraction also comes in the category, like the way we are using abstraction is like we are hiding the implementation of our certain activity that we are performing, like database connectivity. We just calling the method, but actual implementation is hidden in our utility classes. Then we have Excel sheet utility, which is also we are just calling the method, but the actual implementation is in the utility class. So that's how we are using the abstraction. We're like keeping the implementation unchanged from the where we are actually using it. And then we have encapsulation. Encapsulation is basically we are using encapsulation in page object model, for each page of our UI has representation in the form of a unique class in most of the cases. So that encompasses all the locators, and then methods, all the methods that we are performing on that particular page. So that all such data as well as methods have been encapsulated in a single class. So thus we are using the encapsulation in the uh, current framework. And then we have polymorphism. So polymorphism is basically represented through overloading and overriding. So overloading means we are using the same method for different with different parameters. We can click on the element either using a ID or XPath, or some other additional information. So this way we are using a click method in different formats. And then we have overriding. So we are overriding most of the many method which is in the utility class, but we need some additional implementation. So we are overriding the actual earlier implementation to modify our test case specific activity. So yeah, like we are using all these four pillars of the oops in our current framework.
okay, okay. So the next question is, how do you take screenshot for failed test, test cases in only test engine?
Yeah, yeah. So see, we can take the screenshot random, we can take any screenshot while we are on in our Java code. We can so basically when in Selenium we take the screenshot using text screenshot sorry interface. So what we do is we convert the driver, we cast the driver in the text screenshot interface, and on that we call that take a screenshot as method of that particular class. But as you are saying, like in case of failure, we use the listener. So what actually happen in TestNG is like we have a listener interface which we implement in our test case class. So what actually happens is like test listener provide us various methods, which utility methods which will be running along with our test. For example, there are method like when we want to start a test. So before we start the test method, there is a on test start there will be a method, and on after test successful then there will be one method in the listener class, like a interface, and then so there will be such utility methods in that. So as soon as our test case is failed, that particular method is failed, we will directly be shifted to that particular method in the listener. So actually listener will be listening to the activity or result of our test case. So the that particular status is as failed, then it will directly go to the on test fail method of the listener. There we can write down our screenshot utility, like directly call our screenshot utility method, and there we can take the screenshot and attach to report if we are generating any report.
Okay. So, one last question. Can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure. Let me know once it's visible.
Yes. It's visible. So, the question is, can you write a code to check a string is palindrome or not?
Okay, so I will write one utility method. So palindrome basically means a string which can be read either from start or the end in a like in a same, like it has the
In the same
same,
way, yes.
yeah, in a same way. So let me write one utility method for that. So what I'm going to do is I will first write the code and explain. Static
Yes, sir.
boolean will take. So reverse and I equal to str length equal to 0. So yeah, I have written the code. Let me test it once by calling the method itself. So I'm going to print
Yes, sir. Mhm.
level. Yeah. So yeah, I'm done with my code. So let me explain what I wrote. So what I'm doing is creating one method, static method. There I'm taking string as a parameter. So I'm taking another string which is empty at the end, like currently in the start. And what I'm doing is I'm looping through the provided string in a reverse order. Like I'm starting with the length of the string, which will be the extreme right end of that, and then I'm decrementing it down to the 0, which is first position of that. So what I'm doing is with the current string I'm grabbing the last character from the current string and adding it to the like temporary string which I have created. So this way I'm assigning all the character from last to first, and then equating them and returning the result. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So, okay, Omer, I am done from my side. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for your time. So what? So I had one question regarding like what are you using the same? Like are we using the same tools and technology in the current project that you are working on?
Yes, yes, yes.
Selenium and rest assured.
Yes, we are working on Selenium, and your profile match with our uh, requirements. So, yeah, those are same.
Okay.
So, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, Omer. Nice talking to you.
Thanks.
Okay, thanks. Bye.